So, like, this fight could have kicked off in 4 different ways, and everyone dodged everything. The mechanics in that fight were really, really good. Here, I think that the problem they did was they're going to pick Jarvan here. And the reason they picked Jarvan is because there's this many AD bans. And the only real mobile AD left to get out of Jarvan ult is Kalista. But playing Kalista Braum into Ashe Thresh does not sound very laneable. Plus, Kalista is really bad against Ashe. So, realistically, they don't have any other AD carries they can pick to get out of Jarvan ult. And if they have an immobile Orianna too, I guess they think that it's a good blind pick. Well, not blind pick, but just pick to see if it works. The only thing I dislike is... Lee Sin is such a big counter to Jarvan. It's so unplayable, this matchup. Like, Lee Sin into Jarvan, it's so hard to play this 1v1. So jungle already 1v1 is lost, and 2v2 is pretty hard as well, I think. And then they get a blind pick GP Ziggs here, which gives them so much zone control. Like GP Orianna Ziggs into Ashe. Like, this guy can't ever walk up. The only worry I had about this pick especially was you can give Sylas Ziggs ult, right? And then Jarvan can ult anyone without flash of GP and Orianna, and then you can Jarvan Ziggs ult combo, right? So that sounds pretty annoying. And then Adam's last pick here of Cho'Gath, yeah, understandable. Cho'Gath into GP, classic matchup. You know, you can just sustain the lane. And I guess he doesn't want to play a volatile top because his team's playing bot side. Like, I guess he could play like Olaf or Darius or whatever it is in the GP, but I think those matchups are pretty hard. But those are the only real matchups you can play to roll the GP over. But you have no jungle prio and you have no mid prio. Fnatic's comp is good. Like, Fnatic's comp, it's pretty well rounded, you know. Ashe Thresh, Cho'Gath, this is already really good. Sylas is fine because enemy teams also good. The Jarvan is really out of place. I think, I don't know what options they even have up. Oh, they have Viego. I guess you could go Viego. AD jungle pool is a bit annoying right now unless you go Viego. But yeah, jungle AD champ is kind of hard there. Okay, so both junglers pathing bot side. I mean, the reason they do this is because top lane is in isolation this game. I mean, if Armor just wards for level 2 gank, then he's already pretty fine no matter what. And Lee Sin paths bot to cover dives and play for mid 2v2. And Bwipo paths bot because he has a really strong bot 2v2. It's really hard to play topside. The reason it's hard to play topside, because you might be like, well, GP is no flash, you have good setup. Yes. But you always have to think about what you lose on the other side of the map, right? I could play topside right now as Jarvan and start bot side and play topside. But if I do, then my Ashe Thresh lane that wants to push can't push. And the enemy jungle's matching bot. So now it depends. Can I get a lot of value out of shutting down their GP? All I'm going to be doing is giving gold to my tanks. It's so useless. You have to play bot side. Ashe has to get ahead. Sylas has to get ahead. This is the only real way to win the game itself. Your DPS or your carries need to be ahead, right? So that's just how the nature of League of Legends works. So Elyoya, again, he could path top. And he could dive the Cho'Gath, but then he's putting their tank behind. But he needs to make sure he covers dive spot. There's windows where you can make plays top, but most of this game is in this section of the map. Because Bwipo's there to get his bot ahead, keep the push, to get vision and scout enemy jungle, and play for mid 2v2s. And Elyoya's job is to cover bot as much as he can. Like here, base and run bot. And play for mid 2v2 as much as he can, but he doesn't have that much prios to work with other than top. Problem Mad Lions have right now is the bot side vision. You see it? There's 2 wards in their jungle and a crab, so Elyoya has really awkward ways to get to mid. This GP is only really gankable if he takes like a bad trade. But if I'm Bwipo and I show around here, ganking top or whatever, now my Ashe might get all in, you know. Lee Sin could gank bot. Giving away information is terrible. You want to make sure you keep information to yourself as much as possible and don't give it to the enemy. Yeah, bot's winning for Fnatic, top's winning in isolation. Like, Cho'Gath into GP is good because you can sustain. But I guess in isolation, GP just wins. I think 2v2's Cho'Gath wins for sure, right? If you play Jarvan Cho'Gath versus Lee Sin GP, it's hard for Lee Sin GP to win that 2v2. But yeah, I guess the trade-off is your bots will get pushed in, but you have GP ult to help you out bot side. Now, this Dragon start was fine. This Dragon start, I think, is fine, but this EQ was not fine. If Bwipo just holds his EQ here and does not combo in, there's like a chance they can fight this. Like, if Niski moves down and they play it slow, this is fightable, but this EQ loses the fight. I don't like reviewing fights too much, but if it's a fight for an objective, then I think it's worth reviewing. And I think here, they should just pull the Drake out. Because right now, the bot wave is pushing in for Mad, right? Bot wave's in a shit spot for Mad. It's kind of like pushing into Fnatic. It's stacking. So they should just leave it as long as possible. Go, and the more time they waste, the better. I think eventually what will happen is Mad Lions will take over this and they'll catch bot wave. But yeah, this EQ lost it because now he gets slowed onto GP ult. And he has to flash away from Lee Sin. And then Lee Sin can just follow instead. Maybe he could have gone with upset and Hilly so Hilly can block the Q. But I still think he's dead. The reason this was a bad play by Fnatic is because Ziggs is freed up with TP. Like, he doesn't need to TP to bot to catch a wave. He just needs to TP into the fight. Kaiser plays it really well. He has a jump out for free. I think they managed this fight very well. Fnatic just needed to play that a lot slower and wait for mid. Because Adam was also rotating down. I don't know if you guys saw at the end of the fight. Adam was here, you see. So if they just stalled this out, I think Adam would arrive and they would win. Just the EQ from Jarvan was just too, maybe a little bit too excited, I think, to just get a kill or something. Niski trading aggressive. He was thinking Bwipo was behind him for EQ flash, EQ ult. But Lee Sin matches, yeah, mid 2v2 matched. Now because Niski's low with no TP and Humanoid is able to catch mid wave safely, he doesn't need to be around mid. And because Kaiser dropped bot wave and ran out top side and Armand has top push, this Herald is pretty free. Not much can contest it. If there was any like contest, it would just be a Cho'Gath and the Jarvan. Worst case, because he's faster than Thresh. Braum gets hit by arrow. Good downtown fucking arrow there from... So what Fnatic are doing is they're just trading flashes. Good flash by Hylissang. Even if that hook hits... If that hook hits, he's dead. It doesn't hit, but he has to flash it. So no flash on both carries and you're playing Jarvan. So not bad, you know. All the gold lead for Mad right now is top. Doesn't really matter as long as you're making plays. Like 2 pink wards bot side. There's so much deep vision here. Only thing that sucks is they lost Herald, which is expected because they have top push. So Ziggs will get first tower, or... he can get first tower pretty easily, you know, Herald into bomb, boom. You take 1 plate already, it's a dead tower. Kind of like this awkward dance of jungle support covering bot vision, while Bwipo Hilly was looking for bot vision too. So there's lots of contesting going on. Ziggs getting pushed in is fine though, because he can wave clear on the tower, and again, still top lane losing in isolation. Bwipo's hovering around mid the whole time. You can see he's hovering behind Niski all the time, because he wants Humanoid to walk up on the wave and just EQ ult him, and he'll get a free kill. But Drake's up, they're gonna start it. Adam doesn't have TP yet, but Niski does, so he has a good TP timer if anything kicks off. But this is much different, Drake, because now bot's pushed in, and Niski can join the fight with TP. A little bit different from the first one. They can Herald top tower here if they want to. Humanoid no flash, he's dead. Well played by Niski with the ult flash. And good job by Bwipo to kill Humanoid before he can kill him. But their top tower dies anyway, so yeah, a little bit of a lose out there. But because Braum was top side, of course, Karzi has to base. He's not going to TP back bot. He used his ult to clear the last wave. That's why it's on cooldown. So the reason they throw the rules here, of course, Upset's mistimed, is they think Ziggs is TPing. They probably think this is Karzi TPing back to lane because he just based. So he is going to be a for sure free kill. The second the hook hits, they realize it's a GP. It's like, oh shit. Oh, okay. Everyone back. No kill pressure anymore. If it's Ziggs, he's dead, yeah. But otherwise, just push the wave and back. Now the lanes are in a bit of a weird state. Sylas is matching Ori top because they both have TP and teams are playing bot side. Neither top laner has TP, so they were matching each other mid so they can move bot side. But now Adam just ran bot. It's really unlucky by Adam because he doesn't know that it's warded. Like they warded over the wall before the wave shows. Look, wave's gone. Ward over wall comes in. So he doesn't know it's warded there. He knows they're bot side, like here, but he doesn't know there's a ward where he's standing. That's why he's just hovering out of vision, waiting for them to back off, and then he will show on vision. But yeah, Elyoya punishes him pretty hard. Maybe Adam could have flashed earlier if he expects Elyoya to flash kick or whatever. But then Niski TP's behind. Kaiser tanks the tower. He dies. TP from Humanoid, they back off. TP for TP trade, and in the end it's a 1-for-1, so good. A lot of cool mechanics in this fight. So Upset tosses out the arrow because he wants Hilly to follow up on the arrow. So Hilly's walking up the hook, whoever gets hit. Humanoid flashes it, and it hits Armut. But also at the same time, Hilly tries to flash flay the Humanoid into the arrow. So what Hilly's trying to do here is he's trying to flash flay Humanoid, so he gets knocked up, so he can't flash, so he gets hit by the arrow. So this was really well played by Hilly. If he can get him on the knock-up flay into arrow before he can flash, then of course he's dead. But he can buffer it, so even if Humanoid presses flash, he can't get away because he's knocked up right from the flay. But Humanoid flashes as he flashes. Then it hits Armut, and of course he has W. But then Hilly, instead of hooking, smartly runs to the right to dodge away from the ball so he doesn't get shockwaved, and then he hooks after shockwave. And Humanoid sidesteps the hook. So, like, this fight could have kicked off in 4 different ways, and everyone dodged everything. The mechanics in that fight were really, really good. Mad Lions forced it back. Niski goes mid. The play is over. People base. Bwipo going for red is a bit aggressive. But he gets a free kill onto Humanoid here, who still has no flash because he just flashed away from the flay from Hilly. And then Bwipo gets out, I think, right? Yeah, he's out. Actually, they re-engage this, don't they? He gets lanterned out. Nice try. Yeah, so Fnatic are in a little bit of a gold deficit, but I think they're in a good position in the game. Like, the problem they have right now is they have not taken any towers, which is really important with the champs they have, because it unlocks the game pretty hard. But, like, of course, here Fnatic lose the game. Like, Karsi dying is one good thing, but here, like, they have to back soon. They have to back. Humanoids respawning in 3 seconds. Killing Kaiser here is useless. They need to back. Like, Adam is farming top tower. Midwave is in a terrible spot. I mean, you can't see this in the moment, but midwave's in a shit spot. Bot wave's pushing in, so you have to catch it. Like, waves have to be fixed. Waves. If Fnatic don't do this dive, they can maybe win the game. Maybe killing Kaiser is fine here and just running. I don't know if Hilly has Lantern or whatever, or like running back where I think maybe Bwipo doesn't tank, Hilly tanks, and then they run out together bot side. Because now it's just terrible. Now it's just terrible, because not only do you die, but you die on their tempo, right? That means that they kill you while they're on the map. For example, if Fnatic got the kills here, the reason it's not high value is because by the time they kill them and run all the way back to here and push it out, they will be back in lane, kind of. The problem with this kill now is they kill you while they're ready to run out. Like, Humanoid just killed you and you can run to mid tier 2. This wave's getting pushed in, you might even lose your tower for this. So the amount you lose on the back end of this is horrible. Look, Humanoid pushes in mid, no one catches mid wave. Nisqy just lost 2 waves, he's already down 40 CS. It's really, really bad to play on their tempo like that when they've all just come out of base. Also hurts your XP, right? Nisqy's a level behind now. Fnatic's up in kills, but Mad have a tower and have huge CS leads in every lane. Well, in solo lanes. Anyway, it's not the end of the world for Fnatic. They're in a decent spot. Humanoid Carsino Flash, Drake is up. Should be a free Drake. You can just force it. You know, they're going to start it here. Yeah, absolutely free. There's a lot of gold sitting on the map for them as well. Like, that top tier one is pretty free on any wave. But I feel like Nisqy needs to base and match top after this bot wave. Because I don't know what is going on here. Like, this force in mid is just so much. Like, I really don't know what's going on here. I don't know why they're trying to force onto this GP who has flash when there's no pressure on bot tier 2 and the enemy team is on your top tier 2. So you're either playing on 2 lanes here where you push in, you try to force mid tower, which I think is already a bad play because Carzzy has ult, so that he's just going to clear the wave. Or you push in and move towards bot, which again is terrible because they have ult on Carzzy, so he's going to clear the wave. I think what you do is just push waves. Nisqy can base and catch top after tier 2 dies. Then he can push in top and Fnatic push mid and they retake top side, right? They have their bot vision. Hilly can base if he wants. They got this mid wave in. Perfect. What they should do now is move top side and push Mad Lions out on this wave or the next. Nisqy bases and catches here. They push out and they take top tier 1 in response. So it's just a trade of towers. Obviously you're losing out because your tier 2 is worth more gold. But if you don't do this play, then you're losing out even more because you're not doing anything. When there's no objective to play for, they should always just defend their play. And then they can get their own objective when enemy team bases or is forced out, right? But now your top laner is dead. Your jungler is dead for 30 seconds. So a map where you had two pushing lanes, a map where you had the pressure mid and bot, just now turned into a disaster. Actually, it's even better than I thought for Fnatic. The cogwheel was blocking it, but there's a bot tier 1 which Nisqy could have taken if they were safe in mid. And they would have taken top tier 1 as well for this mid tier 2. But in the end, what happens is they don't get bot tier 1. Enemy team gets top tier 2. Now they're getting mid tier 1 and they're going to get your bot tier 1. So this play, they lost 2 kills or 3 kills. What did they lose? They lost top tier 2, mid tier 1, bot tier 1. They didn't get bot tier 1 and now Nisqy has no flash. And enemy team's carries flashes are coming up. So the amount they lost from this play is absolutely mind-blowing. 3 towers, 3 kills, sums, tempo on the map. And now this TP is desperation play. The game's falling out of their grasp. They're now like 6.5k down. And yeah, Adam now has no TP for side lane when Nash is up in 30 seconds, 40 seconds. And Nisqy is the one who has to now go bot against the GP. Nisqy has no armor. Adam's full armor. So now that's even worse because now your top laner has no TP. And all because of what? You want to force a GP's flash? Massive play by Mad. Now I'll always look at Fnatic. When I do my reviews, I always look at how the losing team could do better because I imagine myself as the coach of the losing team. But they're getting really impatient and they're really overforcing for no fucking reason whatsoever. They just needed to calm down, assess the map state, trade objectives, because what would happen is if you traded these towers for this one, which would inevitably happen, then your only objective is mid tower. And eventually what you can do is push in your side waves, catch your side waves, whatever you want, and Ashe can start to fish for arrows onto the Ziggs, and then you can start to collapse, and maybe you can make 4v4s or 5v5s happen. But just randomly going for 3v3s when you have no pressure on one side and the enemy team has full pressure on the other side is just suicidal, I think. Anyway, eventually Nisqy should get this top tower now, unless armed with ults or TPs. This tower should be dead. They just saw Orianna Ziggs on mid wave. They see GP on bot wave. They don't have info on Lee Sin. Yeah, they have info on Lee Sin. They just took the Scryers. The top tower is dead. Right, not bad. We're slowly back in it, Fnatic. So now Mad Lions are TPing to Nash. Okay, this is a very confusing Nash start. I think the reason they're doing this is because what we said earlier, Adam TP'd bot to try and make that play happen earlier. And they know Niski's based. So their thought process here as well. Adam's bot with no TP, so it's a 4v5 guaranteed. Second, maybe we can force Niski's TP, and then they have no TPs in the game. But what they failed to realize is that their Baron is fucking slow. And it would be fine if their Orianna was here, but she was here at the time. So now it just turns into a really awkward scenario for Mad, where Kaiser's dead. It's a 50-50. You got the 50-50, sure. But if Bwipo got that Nash, your mid tower is dead. So a bit of a flip there by Mad Lions, I have to say. They use Ziggs ult, Orianna QW, Lee Sin Smite QQ to get it. But if they lost Nash here and they had Nash Fnatic, this tower is dead. Maybe mid tier 2 could die as well. Depends on if Karzi bases or not. Like he does now, but I guess if they had Nash, he wouldn't. So what is Humanoid doing? He's just walking up to their blue buff alone. Yeah, mistake by Humanoid. Just looking for Niski. Gets knocked up, gets one popped. But Jarvan Thresher in base. So Mad Lions are fighting a 2 versus 4 right now. They stalled quite long, but of course Niski's gonna die. Elyoya's here. Now, Bwipo goes in here. And this might look terrible by Bwipo to go deep. This might look terrible, but it's a must. This has to happen. Enemy team has Nash, they have Ziggs, they have Orianna TP. In 30 seconds time, what's gonna happen here is if Fnatic back off, this is dead. They'll push in bot, they'll push in mid. Orianna will TP to one of the lanes for tempo. And then you're facing a Ziggs ult, GP barrel, fucking Orianna shockwave. Siege of 3 range champions, and you don't have that much wave clear, like your towers are gonna get melted. So I can see why Bwipo goes in here to force the Nash buffs. So Bwipo says here, like, look, it's a 4v4. We have to go in, otherwise the game's lost. We're down 6k gold. Can we fight? Problem is, Adam has no TP and he's far on recalling. Now he cancels his base. Upset has really no damage right now. So it looks extremely int. It looks really int, but like this kind of has to happen, don't you think? I can see why Bwipo did it. Nice try. They're sieging with Nash. They finally have the setup. We're gonna lose our tier 2s, and we have no wave clear. We can't stop this push. So how do you stop the push? You just fucking go in. And I think it's kind of respectful for them to do this, because Ziggs has no flash, so they at least get the Ziggs, which is a shutdown. It's just about cutting losses when the Ziggs is dead. So it's 2 for 1. Never gonna be good, but yeah, you have to try something. And Mad Lions got no towers from it, right? They got a mid tier 2. They got a mid tier 2 from a Nash, where they should get a lot more, because Fnatic just keep throwing themselves at them, right? Which is a good thing for Mad, because obviously they'll get kills, but it's a good thing for Fnatic, because they slow the game down by sacrificing themselves / trying to find a fight. So, maps in a stale point. No one's going to get a Dragon Soul. They just have to wait for Nash. Mad Lions literally can't do anything unless they get Nash. Or there's no reason to do anything, is a better way of saying it, I think. So just pushing waves, keeping Fnatic in their base, that's all they need to do. Fnatic trying to get push in mid so they can contest something, trying to find some vision of their own. Nash in 50, but they're walking into their own jungle now, so Mad Lions have zoned them away. So they can push mid, and they can kind of keep Fnatic in their jungle here. If they keep their ults, they can use ults around here if they find some kind of engage. Niski's behind them. Maybe Fnatic saying that they can fight here, but I think fighting in this area right now where they're stacked up against GP Ziggs kind of sucks. So now, of course, Mad Lions go topside because Nash is up. Fnatic are now contesting topside as well. It's just a case of push midwave and get vision. That's what both teams want to do. Okay, there's blue, their loads. Fnatic have waited out a lot of the ults. A lot of ults got used by Mad Lions there. They use GP Ziggs ult on top of each other. Anyway, they still get Drake. Still contesting topside. That was a free dragon. You can see what they're trying to do, right? Just push in mid, and then when they push in mid, they can move together to try and get some vision, but Mad Lions will stop this from happening. They will stop them from getting any vision. They'll force them out of their own jungle. Thing is, Mad Lions can't burst Nash down really quick, but they have to try to get Fnatic to walk into this Nash pit to start a fight. Or start the Baron and then make them walk into them, right? So Fnatic here, they split off in 2 fights. The problem was they didn't have any vision here, Fnatic. Actually, they have a blue orb. So Mad Lions didn't have any vision there. Bwipo and Niski tried to 1-pop Elyoya. So it's a 2v1 and then a 4v3. But this shockwave was nuts into the Bramald. So it's instantly just like, instead of being a 3v4 down here, it's a 1v4. Because Upset's trying to help his team because he can't do anything here inside of his Ziggs GP ult. Adam's fucking dead. He can't do shit. They get his GA, but that's it. That's all you get. Maybe if you had no GA and you get 1k gold and run, you can win the game. But yeah, GA, Upset dies, Niski dies, everyone dies. Bwipo doesn't get out, he dies too. And now, again, same situation, just worse. Enemy team has Baron, but now they have more items. And they have insanely good siege. Like, their siege is so good. Upset has no flash. How is it possible for him to walk up? They have to try to find a fight. It's the only way, but now with no arrow, it's impossible. Adam TP's behind. Again, they're sieging. You have to stop them from sieging. You have to go in. Have to go in. So they tried to go in. And this is where they lose the game. This is where they lose the game. Because, yeah, they have to force. And Mad Lions kite back. Adam can't do shit. Upset has no flash. He's getting dove by Elyoya. This Lee Sin just one-shot both of them. That's GG. So yeah, Fnatic had to force. They were kind of outranged. Couldn't stop any siege. They lack wave clear and they would be zoned away with no flashes. So last-ditch effort to kind of engage. Similar situation to the last Baron. Yeah, all came down to Fnatic over-chasing fights way too deep for no reason. Again, there's no objective in mind and they're going too deep in the enemy jungle. Diving tier 2s, losing all tempo on the map. And then enemy team can get so much out of it. And again, the first one was the dive mid here, where they died on their tempo. And the second one was the dive mid here, where they died on Mad Lions' tempo. And this one was the worst, right? What is it? At worst, let's go back before the kill. What, like a 3k-ish gold lead? Yeah, around a 3k gold lead for Mad at 18 minutes. Let's go in 1 minute's time. Now it's a 6k gold lead, right? 3k gold in a minute and a half from just... Pog, let's go, man. Dying on their tempo and overforcing, and then losing 3 towers. Mate. That's why Fnatic lost that game. 2 important points there.